The Bee and the Child by Flagg-Gould. Come here, little bee, there are fresh flowers by me. Come, and just let me see how your honey is made. I can't, for I fear that, coming too near, I should pay very dear, so I can't, I'm afraid. Oh, feel no alarm, not a leg or an arm nor a wing will I harm. You may here sip your fill. Pretty maid, then I'll come close beside you and hum, and you shall have some of the sweets I distil. Then my trust shall be free as yours is in me, and be sure, little bee, that you don't use your sting. Oh, no, no, since I flew from the cell where I grew, none has known me to do so ungrateful a thing. Then why, thus supplied with a sting, but to hide and to keep it untried out of sight, little bee? He who gave me my sting and my swift gauzy wing bids me not harm a thing that would not injure me. The Bee by Emily Dickinson. Like trains of cars on tracks of plush, I hear the level bee. Ajar across the flower goes, their velvet masonry withstands until the sweet assault their chivalry consumes, while he victorious tilts away to vanquish other blooms. His feet are shod with gauze, his helmet is of gold, his breast a single onyx with chrysoprase inlaid. His labour is a chant, his idleness a tune. Oh, for a bee's experience of clovers and of noon. The Bee, Clover and Thistle by Flagg-Gould. A bee from her hive one morning flew, attuned to the daylight humming, and away she went o'er the clear bright dew, where the grass was green, the violet blue, and the gold of the sun was coming. And what first tempted the roving bee was a head of the crimson clover. "I've found a treasure betimes," said she, "and perhaps a greater I might not see if I travelled the field all over. My beautiful clover, so round and red, there is not a thing in 20 that lifts this morning so sweet a head above its leaves and its earthy bed, with so many horns of plenty." The flowerets were thick, which the clover crowned as the plumes in the helm of Hector, and each had a cell that was deep and round, yet it would not impart, as the bee soon found, one drop of its precious nectar. She cast in her eye where the honey lay, and her pipe she began to measure, but she saw at once it was clear as day that it would not go down 1/2 the way to the place of the envied treasure. Said she in a pet, "One thing I know," as she rose in haste and departed, "it is not those of greatest show to whom for a favour 'tis best to go, or that prove most generous-hearted." A fleecy flock came into the field, and one of its members followed the scent of clover, till between her nibbling teeth its head was seen, and then in a moment swallowed. "Ha, ha," said the bee, as the clover died, "her fortune's smile was fickle, and now I can get my wants supplied by a humble flower with a rough outside, and even a scale and prickle." Then she flew to one that by man and beast was shunned for its pointed bristle, but it injured not the bee in the least, and she filled her pocket and had a feast from the bloom of the purple thistle. The generous thistle's life was spared in the home where the bee first found her, till she grew so old she was hoary-haired, and the snow-white locks with the silk compared, as they shone where the sun beamed round her. How doth the busy little bee by Isaac Watts. How doth the little busy bee improve each shining hour, and gather honey all the day from every opening flower. How skilfully she builds her cell, how neat she spreads the wax, and labours hard to store it well with the sweet food she makes. In works of labour or of skill I would be busy too, for Satan finds some mischief still for idle hands to do. On books or work or healthful play let my first years be past, that I may give for every day some good account at last.